Okay, so here are the 5 most important tips to increase your company or your brand's LLMO, or large language model optimization. Basically, how do you get your product or brand to show up in ChatGPT when somebody is searching for a related product, or they're asking ChatGPT, what's a good app I can use to learn the piano? Or they're asking ChatGPT a question that your product can solve their problem for. So this is generally called LLMO, or large language model optimization. So tip number 1, your SEO efforts should now focus on longer term keywords. The way ChatGPT or other LLMs will search for products is they'll actually reach out, and ChatGPT, for example, uses Bing. So it'll reach out to Bing with a certain search term, and you can figure out what search term it's using by asking it. So you ask it, here's what a user would ask you, what terms would you use to search? Give me 10 or 20 or 100 of these terms, and generally they'll be a little bit longer than what you're used to optimizing your SEO for. Tip number 2, get a huge Reddit presence. So ChatGPT leverages Reddit in a huge way. So make sure that your product or brand is all over Reddit, and also make sure that people are upvoting Reddit. They use certain logic to look at answers that have been upvoted, and they really lean heavily on that. Number 3, get more content on the web in general. So you want to get in what's known as the Common Crawl. The Common Crawl is just a huge data set of billions of web pages. It's open source, so almost all the LLMs will do some base level training on the Common Crawl. So you can see your website or your product or your brand, how often it's showing up in the Common Crawl. If you sign up at LLMOrush.com, we provide a tool so you can see how your brand or your product is showing up in the Common Crawl, and that stays up to date. And the Common Crawl update every couple months or so, but you want to ensure that your product and your brand just appears often in the Common Crawl. The way that these LLMs work is they basically look at how often a certain word occurs. So the base level training, it's fairly simple. It just does next word prediction. So how often will this word occur? So for example, if you have a piano learning product, how often does your product name occur in this huge Common Crawl corpus? So just getting it in there is going to be very important to show up in these LLMs. Tip number 4, this is specific to a local business. You can get on local Reddit. So Reddit will often have local sub-communities. For example, if you're in Boulder, Colorado, you can go to the local Boulder, Colorado. If, for example, you're a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, you can get on Reddit, get in this local section, and ChatGPT specifically will use and look at local Reddit and make recommendations off of that. Number 5, and this is also for local businesses, get on Bing Places. ChatGPT is leveraging Bing Places. So if anyone does a localized search, so for example, good Chinese restaurants in Boulder, Colorado, it will look at Bing Places to get these answers. Those are the 5 most basic and probably most important things you can do to optimize your LLMO for your company or your product. To get more resources and to stay up to date on how to optimize your company on LLMs, sign up at LLMOrush.com.